I'm going to show you how you turn this simple structure into an easy 3/4 view portrait. Welcome to Sketch and Brew. I'm Tom, and this is part 1 of how to draw a 3/4 view portrait. Let's start with the structure. I begin by drawing a large circle in the upper half of the paper. Sketching lightly, I let the natural curve of my wrist guide the motion. As I work, I'll turn the paper to check the shape from different angles, which helps me spot uneven areas and clean them up with a kneaded eraser. Next, I mark the middle of the circle and draw a slightly curved horizontal line across it. This becomes the brow line. I add another line near the top of the circle to represent the hairline. I then measure the distance from the hairline to the brow line and transfer it downward to find the tip of the nose. Using the same distance again, I transfer it downward to mark the bottom of the chin with a short horizontal line. I draw the left side of the face with a single curved line. On the far right of the circle, I add a lightly curved vertical line to establish the center of the side plane, which will help place the ear later on. I draw the right jaw, running the line down from the side plane's center line. I then add the eye line a short distance below the brow line, keeping it closer to the brow than the nose. Using the bottom of the circle as my guide, I mark the placement of the mouth with another lightly curved horizontal line. I mark the side plane of the face with an ellipse, keeping the spacing roughly even on either side of the center line. From there, I draw a curved vertical line down the center of the face. The labeled breakdown is available on my ArtStation page. I hope it helps. Now, back to the drawing. I begin by laying in the eyebrows using light pressure and short sketchy strokes, keeping them roughly aligned with the guideline. I also make sure to leave some space between the brows. From here, I carve out the left side of the face by shaping the brow ridge, the orbital recess, and the cheek. From here, I take a moment to darken the eyebrows and refine their shape. For now, I keep them relatively soft and thin, with a shallow arch that gently tapers towards the outer edges. I add a few short, upward curving strokes near the inner brows, then more horizontal strokes towards the outer edges. I draw the upper lids with 2 smooth arches on the guideline, then add a single line for the nose bridge. Aiming for soft almond-shaped eyes, I add the lower lids, keeping the left eye slightly narrower due to foreshortening in this 3/4 view. I remove the guidelines I no longer need before detailing the eyes. I begin by darkening the outline of the right eye. Then, indicate the tear duct, lightly define the lower lid margin, and draw the lashes. Next, I place the iris and pupil slightly to the right so the gaze feels directed toward the viewer. I also leave a small white area around the pupil to indicate the highlight. Now, I move on to the left eye and repeat the same process. I quickly correct the left forehead and brow ridge before moving on. I apply more pressure to darken the upper and lower lash lines. lifting and sharpening the outer contours to emphasize a feminine cat eye look. I strengthen individual lashes, clarify the lower lid margin, and deepen the pupils and brows. With that done, I add a light layer of graphite to her irises. Light pressure strokes. I add a subtle shadow to the left of the upper nose bridge. Then, I carry that line downward to define the bridge of the nose and its tip. In my drawing, the center guideline passes through the tip of the nose, though you can shorten the nose if you prefer. And just like the left eye appears narrower in the 3/4 view, the left nostril is also slightly compressed. I start the ear at the intersection where the side plane center line meets the eye line. Then I connect the earlobe near the nose guideline. After refining the jaw, I draw the mouth center line directly on the guideline. I then lightly sketch the upper and lower lips, aiming for a relaxed expression. I lower the earlobe slightly to better align with the bottom of the nose. Noticing the chin feels a bit too square, I decide to round it out and lower it slightly. I begin drawing the left side of her hair, using my guideline to establish where the strands emerge. I keep my pencil pressure light, loosely sketching the wavy forms and letting a few strands fall naturally over the forehead. At this stage, I'm considering leaving the other side shaved. While I think that through, I return to the lips. I take my time darkening the center line and refining the shape, keeping the upper lip thinner than the lower and the corners subtly upturned. I then add a light value to the upper lip to suggest a shadow. I then move on to refining the ear, sketching in the inner folds and cleaning up any remaining guidelines. At this point, I decide against leaving her head half-shaved. Using short diagonal strokes, I sketch in the temple hair. From there, I quickly block in the wavy outer contour, add a few inner lines, and lightly sketch in a turtleneck. The line work is faint and needs reinforcement to really pop. So I switch to my mechanical pencil loaded with soft 4B lead and begin refining the drawing. For now, I focus on the right side of the portrait, applying firmer pressure to strengthen the wavy flowing lines and define the organic shapes of the ear. I also add a subtle shadow between the inner ear folds, helping them read as raised forms. I switch back to my regular 2B pencil to continue developing the hair. Paying attention to its natural flow, I fill in the empty areas with long curving lines, each slightly varied. As I go, I add subtle shading, especially where the hair tucks behind the ear and along the neck. The left corner of the mouth read a bit too high, so I correct it and bring it down slightly. Then I add very subtle vertical creases to the bottom lip, making sure the lines are curved and wrap around the form. I further enhance the shadow on her upper lip and introduce darker values in the corners of her lower lip. I also add a soft shadow beneath to help ground it and introduce faint smile creases near the corners of the mouth to suggest a subtle expression. I refine and reinforce the right alar crease, nostril lines, nose tip, and bridge. I add a subtle shadow along the alar crease beneath the nose and on both sides of the upper and mid bridge. I strengthen the right upper eye fold and brow. Then apply a soft shadow in the corner of the eye near the tear duct. From there, I define the contour of the irises, deepen the pupils, lash lines, and outline of the eyes. I darken the irises and introduce radial striations. Then, with my 4B mechanical pencil, I further deepen the eyebrows while maintaining their established shape and thickness. Applying more pressure, I define the contour of the face, locking in the cheek, chin, and jawline. I return to reinforcing the upper lashes to further enhance the cat eye look. I then make another pass to deepen the pupils and irises before switching to my HB mechanical pencil. The 0.3 lead is ideal for drawing precise thin lines, such as the lower eye outlines. I introduce delicate infraorbital creases, followed by a subtle shadow along the inner brow ridge and the side plane of the face. I define the curved turtleneck line and place a cast shadow on the neck, with the darkest value falling closest to the chin and jawline. Turning the paper helps my stroke follow the jaw, and I take this pass to finalize the chin contour. I deepen the central portion of the lower lips contour line, helping to further ground the mouth. From there, I reinforce the shadow along the right alar crease and side plane of the nose, then make small refinements where needed before moving on. I return to the hair and place additional wavy strand lines along the top of the head. I include a thin clump of strands hanging over the forehead to add variation and a more natural feel. With my 4B mechanical pencil, I reinforce the interior hairlines by carefully tracing the wavy flowing patterns. I begin refining the left side of the hair, adding strands that fall naturally over the shoulder. As usual, I get briefly distracted and add texture along the turtleneck contour, along with a subtle hint of the neck muscles. I return to the left side of the hair, deepening and filling in the wavy flowing strands. I'm in the final stretch, just a few key refinements and subtle hair shading left. I extend the underside contour of the nose so it connects more naturally with the face. From there, I define the cupid's bow by deepening the upper lip contour, then shape the philtral columns above with subtle shading, creating the illusion of a gentle recess beneath the nose. I place a shadow along the left facial contour, making the hair appear to recede behind it. Angling my strokes with the direction of the hair's flow, I place shadows where I want the wave to recede and leave the paper white where I want it to advance. I introduce a subtle shadow along the center part to help the hair appear to lift from the scalp, and along the contour where it rests on the forehead to enhance depth and dimension. I finish the left side by placing a few thin flyaway hairs along the outer contour. Using diagonal strokes that follow the angle of the jaw, I lay in a light sketchy shadow along the side plane of the face and neck. Then I introduce subtle shadows on the right side of the hair, following the same strategy as before. All that's left now are a few key final touches, so I'll step back and let the music take it from here. Don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, and consider subscribing if you're enjoying the vibe here at Sketch and Brew. YouTube has also introduced a new hype feature. If you hype this video, it really helps push it in the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2